7:44. Welcome back. Time to talk real estate, more specifically the BC Home Partnership Program. Mortgage broker Feisal Panjwani back here on the show on the couch. And has your phone been ringing off the hook since this was introduced?
It's been a little busier the last few days, absolutely, for sure.
An initiative, the BC Liberal government made the announcement recently. So for those that are still getting wind of it, let's break down how this works and who actually qualifies for the opportunity.
So it was December 15th when Premier Christy Clarkin made the announcement for the BC Home Partnership Program. Now, this program has been initiated in order to help first-time buyers get into the market sooner by way of a government down payment matching program, whereby they will give you up to $37,500 or 5% of the purchase price of the property to be used towards your down payment. And payments on this do not start until year 6. So years 1 to year 5 is interest and payment free completely.
So a lot of information just came our way, and I think we have some of the boards to put it out so people can actually see these numbers and how this breaks down. But who actually qualifies for this idea?
So in order to qualify for this program, first of all, you need to be a first-time buyer, meaning that you can't have ever owned a principal residence that you've lived in the past anywhere in the world. You also have to be purchasing a property that you live in as your principal residence, and the purchase price on that property cannot exceed $750,000.
Okay, and as we jump to the next slide, that's where you mentioned the $750,000. Are lenders on board with this, or is there a bit of concern with affordability with giving this amount for your down payment?
Well, at this point, there's still a lot of information that we're waiting on, and the main thing that we're waiting on is we're waiting for lenders to see if they are willing to come on board and support this program. Because just because the BC government has brought out this program doesn't mean that all the lenders will jump on board right away. So what we're waiting on is we're waiting to hear from our lenders to see which ones will be participating in this program and how many of them will be. So it's just a matter of time until we hear whether they will be participating or not.
And the rules will be strict. I mean, you just brought up a great point before we went to air about the idea of, well, what if your parents gift you $37,500 and say, hey, the government's going to give you the other half, and then you're incurring much more debt.
So one of the things that they're going to be really strict on, in order to qualify, you have to prove that you've been able to save up half the required minimum down payment, as well as that you have to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident for the last 5 years and live in BC for 12 months. They're going to be extremely strict on this program. They're going to make sure that the people who qualify for this program, and our hope as mortgage brokers is to make sure that the right people are using this plan. We want people who have strong income. However, the limit on this for anyone going on title is $150,000. You have to make that much or less in order to qualify. We want people with great employment stability. We want people with excellent credit. So we want the right people to use this program because, you know, if you think about it, the timing of this is a little interesting in the way that our federal government over the last few years has been tightening mortgage rules. Amortizations have come from 40 down to 25 years. A year ago, the federal government bumped the minimum down payment requirements on homes valued over $500,000. And just recently, 2 months ago, they brought out that stress testing for mortgages, which reduced borrowing power by about 20%. So while the federal government is tightening, here we have our provincial government saying, we're loosening a little bit. We're going to allow you to consider getting into home ownership with as little as 2.5% down. So again, our hope as mortgage brokers are that the right people use this plan because they're ready to get into home ownership. They've done their budgeting. They're comfortable with it, not just because there's this plan. Now, if you want to look at some numbers, what you're saving is, let's say someone's buying a home for $500,000, minimum down is 5%, which is $25,000. You need to save $12,500 for the government to match the other $12,500. What you'd save in interest on that $12,500 is only $34 a month, $2,000 over the 5-year period. If you maxed out at $37,500, you save $100 a month, or $6,000 over the 5-year period. So don't just jump in to home ownership because this program is there. Jump in because it's the right thing for you at the right time.
A lot of important number crunching that you're going through to consider this. Final point as we wrap this up. What if you sell your property before those 5 years are up? Do you have to repay that loan? How does that work?
So this program is for owner-occupied properties only. So if you decide to sell the property or someone else comes on title, that loan, which is a second mortgage registered on the property, is to be paid off in full. Okay. If you decide to rent the property out, technically that loan is due and payable in full back to the province of BC.
So some great questions to ask before you jump in and hopefully take advantage of the program. In terms of timeline, when is this available?
You're able to start making applications online as of January the 16th for any deals that are completing as of February 15th, 2017 to March 31st, 2020. So it's just over a 3-year program. First thing that you need to do before you are able to even apply online, and you can apply online through the BC Housing website, is you have to get completely pre-approved for a high ratio insured first mortgage. So first step is go see your mortgage broker, get that pre-approval done, and then you can go online and make that application.
Great information. We saw some websites pop up, more resources for you at home. Lots to consider as you get set financially for 2017.